and everything is telling me to be. So, okay, basically, let's see here. So I'm just gonna open this up on the computer. I don't know why it says that this one is, because usually it says it's live and it looks like it's going to click in and say so, but it said that it was upcoming. Weird. Okay. So, copy. Okay, so I'm just putting something there for those that come across this while scrolling. Kind of, it's the title, and it's also a little blurb that I have, and hopefully they will both fit. Although it looks like on this document that I have open, I was adding other stuff before it. I saw it a moment ago, but I'll put the title through, I guess, for now, so you can see what we're. Okay, you left, whatever. Just a few moments too quick, but you can't please it. Too slow, but you can't please everybody. Even with the additional stuff that I put there, there's not that much there that I should not be seeing the part I'm looking for. I did just see it like moments ago. So sorry for the slow start. It's early morning here, and okay, there it is. And I don't think I'm going to worry too much about that. Yeah, I asked, I didn't get clarification, but there was some really nice progress before bed last night on something. But then also, um, um, a bit of what word do I use to define it? I don't know. But I am going to wait till there's some to those viewers. That is something I am going to do. Um, So I'm just kind of looking at my pre-blurb, because how I've been doing it lately is if I have a title, which usually I do, but sometimes I haven't lately, I'll add it to this little intro blurb, and then, oh, hi, how are you? Oh my goodness, I'm glad I didn't have to wait very long. I'm glad that you're here. And I really hope you can stay for at least a few minutes. I don't know what time of day it is there. But basically, yeah, I'm not going to get that full thing all in. I can tell you that much. So I think I'm just going to take out the title as far as in the description here, because then I can get it in. And I'm just going to pin this one, highlight it. So I have some mixed updates to give, and it's really hard because I haven't wanted to worry the other person in the home, and he. I think that, yeah, that's what it is here. I should have realized that. Okay, so it's been quite a morning, and let's go downstairs and talk for a few moments now that I have this all planned up. I think he's just going to get it. Yeah, so, yeah, do this downstairs. Don't want to worry the other person in the home, but how far back should I go? Childhood. This may take a while. Just kidding. No. Well, I just came back into the kitchen and I'm trying to get our coffee. There we go. I don't know what's been up with our coffee maker. It seemed like it was kind of leaking. I thought I'd tapped both parts out, but I guess I hadn't. And well, it leaks in general, but it was like leaking before it started brewing. And the other day I noticed that the on off button, like I pressed three things and the on off button was not, and this isn't just about coffee, this is about way more than that, was not coming on. But then if I pressed and held it a bit longer, it did. Um, Today it was kind of the same kind of deal. Anyway, let me get the tripod. And yes, something really kind of unsettling happened this morning. I'll tell you that much. Um, and I don't want to worry anybody or myself, both on YouTube and whom I live with. I don't know why it's selecting stickers. No, what do I do? Okay, go back. I like the stickers thing, but no, I don't want to stop streaming. I want these sticker things to go away. Just a moment, please. I appreciate your patience. This is a very important stream. Okay, here we go. I mean, they all are, not just mine, but, mine included. Anyway, so I've got the coffee figured out. I'm a bit dehydrated, so while I'm working on that, I'm going to get the water figured out, which is pretty much adding a cold one to a warm one. So, and I'm sorry, yes, it's morning here, and one of us at least understands that because it's the same thing there. I have been feeling symptoms, and I'm going to be booking a medical appointment. I'm going to turn this light off. I'm going to adjust this a little bit here for comfort for all of us, hopefully. Okay. So I'm going to be booking a medical appointment. So you may be aware, Chapstick if you're curious, Chapstick if you're not, the person that's watching right now, there was somebody else there, but they didn't stick around. I know you understand, but anyway. Okay, now let's drink this water. Sorry, yeah. It's so nice to have somebody to talk with. I haven't been rolling that long this morning, and sometimes that takes a while. And honestly, I've only got about an hour. I have, water doesn't do the same thing, and it's kind of an anemia reason too. And I didn't get very much on, or it came off a bit when I had water. We are having something installed in our home today. And I'm doing some prep work for a couple of upcoming interviews. But other than that, I totally could be streaming today, but I've also been having some tech issues. So thankfully, I'm able to borrow G's device while he's using his laptop this morning and do this and kind of get my live streaming fix in for the day until probably in the evening. Either in the evening or not at all again today. But it wasn't even so much that I really wanted to live stream. I really would have rather have gotten an hour of sleep, an hour more of sleep, woke up gradually, although sometimes I do struggle to fall back asleep, but I would have looked at my device, which, by the way, where is my laptop? I think it should be fine. It keeps its charge good. I have to bring that down, downstairs later. Anywho, don't forget to give this a like, even though it's, varied things I'm sharing. Jody and whoever else. So basically, I went to bed with these upcoming interviews looking fairly likely for sometime during the rest of this week. Woke up. The neuropathy feelings I've been noticing came a little after, but there's been one I've been a bit worried about. I haven't really researched it much, and I would also like to say early on, before people start writing too much, that with this particular video, as I try and wake myself up to the lovely sound of the coffee maker, it's always good, right? With this particular video, comments during the live stream, welcome. Comments after, not so much. Just because this is a channel that me and somebody else in the home use, and even though we do communicate with each other, some of what I'm going to share, I want it to kind of be a little bit more like he's not likely to, unless I show it to him, he's not likely to come and look at what video I did today. And the title was a little bit vague as well. What your pet name? I thought I saw that one the other day too. That's the weirdest thing. It'd be interesting to imagine it, but anyway. So basically, um, um, I don't want him to be worried. It was awkward because I was, for some pretty strong reasons, ready to get up sooner than the other person in the home, and my moving around and stuff was a little distracting, but whatever. Um, and the reason why I was ready to get up, aside from kind of eager for the rest of the week for sure, but also the general neuropathy, is I've had a relative that kind of had this, but she's since passed from cancer. And it was actually more because of a stroke that she had, what I'm about to explain. I have a friend that's since passed. I suppose I don't know why she had her vision problem. Um, I don't know if we've talked much about the afterlife, and I know she's inspired a writing project that I have, but I'm not really. I know why she became homeless, because she could no longer work when she had her vision problem. And if Leanne sees this, who I guess I'm also kind of worried about since I haven't seen her on mine recently, she's been going through health problems too, and she's not that old. But the one who we met her through, I did see her there a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Anyway, knows this lady that I've been connected with for years. Anyway, and basically, oh, that made fast. And this brand of coffee that we have right now, where I mixed it because I was finished trying to. This tin got low, so I added some from there, and they were two different kinds. And I've shooken it up since, but it's still mostly that kind, I think. But I thought it was the Maxwell House that I didn't like as much. Because actually, I found, even not streaming or whatever, I found that it made me dry, kind of like ginger lemon combo does to my throat. Well, we're lucky that it didn't leak though, because the lid was not completely turned. Unlike myself, just kidding. I have a sense of humor. Hopefully, the people that see this do. Sometimes the only filter is in that thing. So, and it also is a bit of an old machine, so it does not always make it hot, and it hasn't. It's made it warm-ish, and I want to add milk to it, which is good because even though they say, there's actually quite a bit of sugar and fat in milk, it is dairy, and I don't get enough dairy. And I know the vegans might be rolling, I guess they're rolling in the grave, but if they're alive, I guess they're just rolling like me right now. No. And to them I say, I get you. I understand, a lot of your opinions. We don't need to talk about them though. As far as about why go vegan, like I say, it actually, I think the body actually really needs dairy, calcium, because if you're not getting it from dairy, I think the only other way would be from a vitamin, wouldn't it? Anywho, so this morning, and I told him, he was like, okay, well, get up if you have to. So I got up, and I was doing a bit of research, and I need to do more. And then I was also trying to figure out something with my laptop that was being wonky. And then it was about half an hour, 15, 20-ish minutes before it was the usual time to kind of get up. And normally, the other person in the home has a fitness routine. I stay in bed for a bit longer, not always sleeping. And this morning, I was, again, only while alive comments, especially about this health stuff. That's really what I mean. And that's where they mostly come anyway. So I was quite scared when I woke up this morning. My eyes felt, and this is why I'm wondering if anybody watching, and right now that's one of you. There was a couple others a moment ago, or anybody else that you may know has went through this, because I woke up and when you wake up, you're feeling a bit groggy, and you might have sleepies in your eyes. What it felt like is there may have been, like, my eyes wanted to make these sleepy things, uh, of which us humans have, but it didn't make them, and they were just kind of like in bits floating around inside my eye. I hope that's a good description. Like, my eyes felt gritty. I didn't have necessarily blurry vision, but I've never I've never had that feeling with my eyes upon waking up before, even upon waking up. Um, and since I already have neuropathy and likely pre-diabetes, um, and in case those that don't know, like, I mean, I'm not exactly, not to like be meaning to sound like I'm trying to offend obese people, but I'm not exactly that. And this is the real wild thing about it. So what has we're almost through the first month of the year, right? And hopefully it's been good for everybody, decent at least. I know that the truth is that for a lot of people it probably hasn't. I'm coming up to almost a year in a few days since I lost a pretty good friend. And I don't want to scare anybody, but 2 diabetes. And she was young, but she was vibrant. And what has come from that has been a lot of things, but one of the main things is that 32 is that, and I'm sure that there are lots of places in the world that have such an agency, so I don't feel I'm giving anything away. And if anybody recognizes me from there, please respect the privacy of that. But basically, um, I started going to an agency that kind of had a pretty strong focus on this diabetes stuff. Um, if you're pre-diabetic, you definitely can revert. Yeah. Okay, and that just came through. Even though, don't forget to like, even though I know some of this is deep, that just came through. Even though I know that you're here. Anyway, yeah, I don't even know. I might even be type 1. It's one of those things that is very easy to get when you have it in your genetics and you have it in your and like, I don't do a lot of sweets. I don't do candy. I do the occasion or desserty like thing, and whatever sugars happen to be in food naturally. And I do a lot of gluten and carbs, but other than that, it's in my coffee. And I was thinking about that this morning when I was having coffee maker issues. I was thinking, I know what my friend, and I think that was just like from you. I know what my one former coworker friend passed away with. That was cancer, although she was a coffee addict. Yeah, thank you. But I don't know what else she was necessarily dealing with. I knew my friend had diabetes. The thing is I wouldn't have been able to necessarily change her passing. She had it since she was quite young. I only ever seen her test once, and that's something that makes me kind of uncomfortable, is the testing. I think if I went to a lab, I might feel a little bit better, although people have mixed experiences, but those are probably people that are on other medications or have other health issues, and they bruise easy, and then they get all worried, and I'm not judging them or whatever. Anyway, well, yes. Well, you know what? Actually, my grandmother has it, and over the Christmas holiday, I found out that my mother's had it for the past 2 years, which she hadn't told me. um, um, I'm not big about medication. I prefer natural health and holistic, and I have beliefs about medication. And we've talked about that a little bit before, actually, you and I. But I mean, they say that lifestyle helps. For me, lately, it's been a little bit hard living an active lifestyle, but I have been trying. Um, I've even seen one. Anyway, sorry, I have been trying. I was just that Q&A sticker. Um, why it's hard is I don't have. I mean, it's winter. I don't drive. I can't bike. Um, it's been was mild at the beginning. Now it's quite cold, and I don't like that in general. And then with my health, it's like can't do it even more. So basically, um, yeah, but I don't know. You see, it's one of those things that I think that a lot of us probably, for the various reasons mentioned, live with and don't know about it for a long time. Like we don't know that we're living with it. And then it can, and from my understanding, it's a little bit confusing. But I think I have an understanding. Type 1, I believe, comes after type 2 or so. I remember, maybe I just was confused because I remember kind of trying to clarify this at the that place, and I think they said that I'd misunderstood. So maybe I did. But I'm still not entirely sure if I understood that. And I'm not meaning to sound slow or dense or whatever, but if I misunderstood or not. But basically, so I'm either pre-diabetic or type 1, part 1. And yeah, the thought of doing the testing myself, the thought of wonky apps doesn't really appeal. Um, but and my friend, I came across a small little video not that a few months ago that her ex did, and I think she was quite young. They may have been together for quite a long time, actually. Um, and I mean, like she was young or younger, young. She was probably in her 20s then, and in fact, I guess she was in her 20s when I met her, and I was in my late 20s. She was in her early 20s, I guess. And she was dating this guy at this time, but I didn't really know him very well. He would occasionally come to karaoke nights. I remember one time he tried to sing to win her back. Yeah, say, get it back to good. Da, 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 da. Anyway, I don't really want to sing that right now. But anyway, so I need to figure out where I'm going. Um, uh, um, I kind of want to be upstairs. The dog's up there by himself, and he's probably kind of confused. So I should go upstairs. Uh, I want to have a bit more coffee, which I'd rather not bring up there. But anywho, so he made this little video, and it wasn't malicious. Nobody should be doing that kind of thing. If you don't like somebody, ignore them. Or if you don't like certain things, try and ignore those things. And do look at the stuff, watch the stuff you'd rather watch. But so I don't think it was malicious. I think it was kind of a creative project. If you like your coffee and worried about sugar in the milk, yeah. And actually, I know this might sound stupid to some people, but it was only recently that somebody, ironic because of something else I was talking about that she kind of wants to do, but it was only recently she brought cream for the coffee and said that there was less sugar, less fat, something like that. Um, and she hasn't mentioned having diabetes, although I've mentioned this friend. But so she said it's better than milk, and she left. It was a little carton. She left the rest of it with us, and I've since used it up. But I wonder if I mean, I don't think that the other person in the house is necessarily going to be talked out of getting what we usually get, but maybe we should get that as well. Even if it's a small carton, it lasts, a week or, you know, well, we had it in the fridge, but I was using other milk too. Anyway, point of the matter being is that so this friend, I think she had some drinking issues, but she'd gotten better from them. She'd also had I don't think she had any drug issues. I mean, yeah, she smoked. Uh, I wanted to say she was one of those ones that she only smoked when she was around other people that were smoking, but no, she may she. I think she was one of those ones, kind of like me, unique, and maybe this is something that we have in common, her and I, where it's like she was one of those lucky ones. And I mean, honestly, not to judge smokers, but all you have to do is look at the boxes, the cigarette boxes. And I know I'm not helping the sales, but they don't need help. People want to smoke, they smoke, cigarettes. That's not really what this is hugely about, but the boxes and the images on them, I tell you. But anywho, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't buy them, I'm sure you've seen them in the store. I'm sure you've seen them laying on the ground, basically. Um, and I feel like she may have been one of those ones that was like a social smoker, you know? Um, I mean, it's true. I mostly only saw her at work, but occasionally we'd go outside for a smoke break. Um, and otherwise online, who knows? She may have been smoking while we were talking. You know, she had a great singing voice. I don't, I didn't get the sense that, like she didn't have a smoker's voice, but sometimes that's maybe something that comes with age. I don't know. But and we saw each other a few times in person. It may have also been one of those things where she was trying to quit and maybe kept quitting and starting and quitting, possibly. Anywho, why was I mentioning that? I don't. Oh, right. So I think it was some of her struggles, her health struggles, and the things that she was dealing with that inspired this little film that they made. So far, I've only found a preview of it. Uh, I want to find the rest of it. I commented it. I want to see the rest of it because you know what? I feel like even with my, feeling, sensing the other side or whatever, I feel like it brings her back alive to see it a little bit, even though she's a bit younger than I kind of recognize her as, uh, or it's her hairstyle or something maybe. Um, but what I didn't really like seeing is her injecting herself. Because I think I only saw that once. And I think she actually did it at work because she must have felt she needed to. With not drugs, like insulin or checking or whatever. And the thought of doing that every day to anybody that wants to say, just man up and do it, first of all, I don't know. It's like my grandmother. She wouldn't check if she'd had sweets. I don't know if I'd want to know. I think I'd get like worried if things were sporadic, like, and also to do that myself. I just, every day or almost every day, and the apps apparently are wonky. So I think it's going to the lab or it's going to the check on time here, 7:13. It's moving faster than I thought. So but at least that's anyway, uh, going to the agency. But I think I have to see the doctor first because they'll look at what the doctor's lab results have most recently found. And truth told, the first time they looked, which was many, many months ago, they said, no, it's normal. And I think it was just that particular reading. That's the thing. It can vary. I think that particular reading was normal. I also feel like it's maybe gotten a bit worse since. But yes, I'm trying to live a more active lifestyle. I'm not one that really is into going to the gym. First of all, I don't have a gym membership. I don't drive. Our transit system sucks. It's winter. I know. Excuses, but valid ones, I feel like. Also, a bit distracting. Um, most of the machines are iffy, and my body's been doing stuff. It's one thing if your body is not dealing with symptoms and health issues, and you just you want to get healthy. And I know that they say it's reversible. So I've started taking vitamins. I thought that that was helping a little bit, but it's unsure. And then, eating healthy, but I'm a picky eater. So, I mean, that's kind of a hard one. But I'm trying to. But the point of the matter is that, yes, so I got involved in this center, and honestly, it hasn't been that much about this condition. I've taken a workshop fairly early-ish on, where I was sitting next to a woman with the same kind of unique first name as the friend of mine who passed away, but she was much older. I still think it's a little bit silly. I'm not. This place is great, but I don't understand why they have a social group for only people that are over 50. I understand that as you get older, having this may be more challenging because you probably have, you know, but like, I don't know if she was involved at this place, but like, would she have been told, well, even if you have diabetes, I mean, it's also if you have diabetes, but they've changed their posters to say 50 plus at both locations. And it's kind of like, would she have been told, well, even if you have it, you can't come to this group? I mean, luckily, she had a pretty closely connected family, at least mostly. She's now with her mother up there. Uh, and I'm not saying anything bad about her. She worked a lot. She got to be a stepmother. She had a great partner. Um, she had a good circle of friends. I was happy to be one. You know, um, so maybe she didn't need it. I have to get going, but try not to worry. Maybe start with diet and take one thing at a time, so you're not. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do, and I appreciate you being here. But yeah, we have our, like I said, I'm borrowing this device, and the person whose device it is, because I don't have a cell phone right now. Thankfully, I do have the laptop, but it's being a little finicky. Uh, you know, but I can chat on people's streams too, for sure. But has to be leaving for work soon, and is working for a charity organization, but doesn't drive. It's been still recovering, but mostly recovering from a knee injury. It's been very cold, slightly icy maybe, and at times snowy. So certain days there's someone that can get a ride in with, but she's not there every day, and sometimes leaves early. Although yesterday got home early, which was nice. So anyway, has to cab is taking this new system I've never heard of, but apparently it's quite popular, and apparently it's cheap. I mean, the cab ride that distance isn't too bad. Otherwise, it adds up though, and we have this install that we have to do that's going to be happening today. We have to do it. It's not like we just want to. And my goodness, greedy bastards. Sorry to say it, but like, it's not cheap, and it's a need in a house. It's a need. So, like I say, basically, our water system. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, I've got to get this phone back to him soon. But we can certainly still talk under this video, and I'll try and roll tonight as well. Yes, I'm looking forward to these upcoming interviews. I'm going to book a medical appointment, and just say this is what I woke up noticing this morning in a way that I've never had. And it kept me awake for the next hour that I could have been sleeping. And he's a fast talking, mumbling doctor, but that's just because I think he's been a doctor for a little while. He's not that old. I think when I started with him, he may have actually been a recent graduate. But, I think it's just his personality. I mean, I talk fast, so I can kind of follow it. I think that there's probably lots of people that either are confused and don't clarify, or have to ask him, can you repeat that? Because, and he's certainly gotten burly too since, the past couple times I've seen him in person since before then. But I'm just saying. But yeah, he kind of talks fast and he mumbles. I'm surprised G's kept up with him, to be honest. But again, it's not that I don't feel like it's that he's trying to be shady. But anyway, so yeah, and I'll just say, I think I should get some tests done. And then also, and I feel like if I was to say what would prevent, this worry about vision or whatever, I think I'd say, No, the healthy eating, the taking the vitamins that I prescribed to you a couple of weeks ago. Uh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I guess I should specify it's a couple of live streams. I'm hoping that technology will work. I think I just had to type screencast to bring them in on my channel, either with a third party app or directly through YouTube. Otherwise, it's going to have to be via theirs, and then I might just have to from one to another record it onto mine afterwards. But yeah, it's going to be a couple of people that also have disabilities. One of them is trying to make it in music, but also cosmetology, or more like um, esthetician, I think they call it. But she's young. She's trying to figure her life out. I'm a little older. I'm still trying to figure some things out, and we really relate to each other. And she's stoked. She says she thinks she's just your average person. She's really, even though she didn't, I had to wait a few days to hear back from the email, and she didn't see what she was. Then I maybe wasn't checking for a couple of days, but she got back to me, and she says that yeah, she's really looking forward to that. And then the other guy pretty quickly agreed that I've only known for about a week, but whatever. And he's also an author, so yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, I have to get upstairs actually. The time is moving faster than I thought it was, so we both have to head out. But I hope you have a great day. Maybe I'll catch you again later this evening. And yeah, I'm going to be booking that appointment and at least getting an up to date test and maybe some feedback about the symptom I woke up with. Because yeah, I didn't get back to sleep and it was distracting for both of us here. Okay. But yeah, I do like this theme, and it's kind of the general theme anyway. But more focused on journeying this life together, because that's what we're all doing, folks. That's what we're all doing, and as people, we have a lot in common, and we can learn from each other and all that. So okay, I thought I had an hour, but looking at the time, apparently I don't, so that's fine. Anyway, I got pretty much everything I wanted to say in anyway, so. But yeah, so there's been social connections. They've been slow to establish, but they have been forming at this agency. And just, you know, there's been some nice things that have come from it. And I look forward to seeing what the rest of the year brings in that way. Will do. Yep. Feel free to check in anytime, and even if I'm not live, you can comment. Okay. Take care, buddy.